Hey, Willis. Just setting up the live streams properly. Get the tags into YouTube so people can find me. And away we go. Okay. So we started Plrx. Client Therapeutics. Clinical trial results. That's the catalyst. Consolidating around the $0.5 now. We've still got 2,500 shares in. We're 1,300 up already. So we got in here. Got this first move up. Obviously, it's been moving up a while, but excuse me. I got this move up here. We got in here, took a little bit of profit when it came back. We re-entered or added back what we're taking off, and then we got some more in here, and we're still in. We're taking a little bit of profit, but we're still in. Our average cost is 36 cents, 12.36. Currently up at 12.70s. Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to get any shocks with the CPI data, the same as we didn't really get any shocks on the on the jobs numbers on Friday. But I think there's other things are going to be impacting the markets this week as well. So I think we're probably going to start to see a bit of a sell-off this week. Of course, the Nord 1 has shut down the gas pipeline from Russia into Germany. Nord 1 has shut down. Now it does shut down every year at this time for maintenance for 2 weeks. But the fears are that it's shut down and it's not going to reopen, and Russia will effectively hold Germany and the rest of Europe to ransom. So that's a bit of a worry, and that's affecting European markets at the moment. Need some antihistamines. Guys in the stream, can you just tap the screen 10 times? That's all I ask. I'm obviously doing something wrong because nobody's liking the stream. So tap the stream 10 times. That way, it just helps with the algorithm. It pushes it out to more people. Get more people in the chat. It becomes a more interactive stream. All well and good, you know. Do I close partially when market consolidates or creating a higher low? I close partially when I hit a particular milestone, or when it starts to consolidate. If it doesn't go, if I don't reach break even, I don't exit the full position. So I'll reach a certain level. It'll consolidate or whatever it is. I'll take some profits along the way. Right now, I'm just holding this position for the break of the whole dollar. And then I'll look for a position to add. So we're in for 2,500 at the moment. So on my next transaction, I will add 5,000 and take 2.5 off. So essentially moving my average cost up and locking in a third of the profits. In fact, I'm going to do that now directly. So 75 is now, 12.75 is now my average cost. And I've now got 5,000 shares in here. So I've effectively doubled my position and taken some profits. Which broker for charts and executions? For executions, this what you're seeing is I'm using Capital Markets Elite Group. I'm using DAS Trader is the software, but it's through Capital Markets Elite Group. Nice dollar move now will be lovely. I can see 1380 on the chart there, so if we could get up there, that'd be absolutely lovely. Just, more importantly, I think he's holding the whole dollar, holding $13 as support now. I'm looking at there is no we've got blue skies ahead. There's no resistance ahead. This is you know, we're hitting highs, breaking highs. Let's look at this on the daily on TradingView. I want to see where the all-time highs are. We've got resistance up at $10, 10.50s. Then we've got currently up at 12.90, so we just broke $13. So now it's like $15, 15.80. So $15, yeah, $15 is the next real support levels, resistance levels. Looking at it on the daily. What's my lot size on average? I'm 2,500 shares is kind of my starter position, and then I'll move up in size of 2,500 or 5,000. That's what I kind of my lot sizes are. So I'll go 2,500 shares to start, then I'll add 2,500, then I'll add 5,000, remove 2,500, add 5,000, remove 2,500. So every time I add 5,000, I take 2,500 off at the same time. I'm effectively adding 5,000, locking in some profits. Thanks, Canyon. Appreciate that. So now we're up at 1320s. The quarter dollar level is always a psychological level. So what I'm looking for here is a little pullback so I can add to the position for the next move up. So again, I'll add 5,000 and then I'll take 2,500 off. I want it to hold the whole dollar as a support or starting to move back up again. Breaks lows on the 2-minute, then I probably will exit. Right now on the 2-minute, we're looking at a low of 12.95. So I want it to hold the whole dollar. .1 pips. Don't do pips. This is not Forex. This is equities, shares. Well, this is Plrx Therapeutics, who've had good clinical trials. PLRX, which is Pliant Therapeutics. The ticker is PLRX. What I'll do is if this breaks, there we go. So I'll just take half the position off. It broke the whole dollar. So I'll take half the position off, lock in the profits. And the rest is break even. And I'll take the rest off at break even. If it keeps pulling back, gets the break even, I'll exit at break even. So 2,300 in profit today so far. Break. I can look. The high of that one is 1310. So 1310 is my add back. Add 2,500 back at 1310. First count to make a new high. There we go. So I can add that back there. Back up to 5,000 shares. 95 is now our break-even level, which means we 12.95. If it breaks below $13, we exit in our entirety now. So now we're looking for a move up to test highs. Current high is 1331. So we're looking for a move up to 1330s. Pulls back, we will exit the position. Come on, guys, you know, if you're in this chat, for those of you that have been on my stream many times before, you know, when you come onto the stream, all I ask you to do, you can learn a lot from regards to day trading. All I'm asking you to do is tap the screen 10 times when you come in. If you haven't already, let's get that like count above 1,000. Needs to hold the whole dollar. I'll get it. Okay. Broke the whole dollar again. So I'll wait for the next move up. So not a bad start to the day. $2,000. Hey, Alphabet. Good to see you back. Give my glasses a bit of a wipe. I've got a bit of a smudge on there that I don't like. Let's have a look at what else is moving and why. So LJPC just jumped up. Let's have a look at the reason why. Looks very much like either a reverse stock split or an acquisition by the shape of that. Innoviva to acquire Lajola Pharma. So acquisition. Yeah, that's not going to be a trade worth having. DWAC is below the VWAP, not worth taking. Excuse me, hay fever. Yeah, so Pliant Therapeutics, really the only one to be watching right now. The entry is 25. We'll get in there at 22. For the move up to test highs. Spreads are 3 cents, which are not too bad. To break highs, we'll take a little bit off if once we get to 35, 32 maybe. 10 cents. If we can get 10 cents out of this, there's 10 cents. We'll take half off. Extra 250 bucks. A whole above 30 cents. A $0.25 level is very important. Psychological level. We're currently at a resistance, or formerly a support level here at 1330. Back in December. Found support at this level back in December. We're just watching this consolidate. It's just having a little bit of a pullback. It's consolidating around the $13 level, just above 13, between $13 and $13.30. Kind of ranging. Pulled all the way back to 12.85 previously. Now we've got 13.05 is really the $13. We'll exit if we break $13. Start to move back up. I'm going to add to the position. Go. I want to see move up, back up above 1330s. There we go. We'll take a little bit off. We've now got 5,000 shares in this position. It's a nice move. Just going to lock in a bit there. So we're now 3,400 up on the day. Well, still got 2,500 shares in this one as well. Nice, lovely move up that was. Still got 2,500 shares. Our average cost is 13.25. It's currently up at 13.70s. Add some more there. Now back up to 5,000 shares. Our average cost is 54. Pulls back to the $0.50, we exit. See this break $14. I'm going to add another 2,500 and remove it. So we're just locking in some gains. Still got 5,000 shares. We're over $14. We broke 14.10 on the bid. We're up at 14.30s now. 5,000 shares. But be careful with this because I can't put stops in place. I don't have the ability to put stops in place pre-market. I've got to be careful. I don't want to be taking huge size pre-market just in case we get an algo flush. What we'll do is lock in some more gains. We're now nearly 5,000 up on the day. That's my daily goal actually. So 5,000. So we're 50 bucks away from my daily goal. Locking in gains along the way. Move effectively. This is effectively the same principle as having a trailing stop. Just keep adding and adding to the position, and then selling that same what you've just added. Your if you can't trade it with your real account, can you trade pre-market, Alistair? It's 60% up on the day. 1386 is our average cost. Plrx 14, we'll get out. Pulls back to $14, we'll exit. Take some of the position off. We broke a new low there, so just taking half the position off, locking in some gains in case it continues to pull back. Yeah, you can't use all your margin. You can't use all your leverage pre-market. That's the thing. You can use most of it, but you can't use all your leverage anyway. Full stop. You need to have some in reserve because that allows them to liquidate your position without I think it's 95% or something like. Depends on your broker, but it's about 95%. You might have enough equity to cover the position, but do you have enough equity to cover the position plus fees? That's the thing. So they only allow you to. They don't usually allow you to take a 100% leveraged position because that way you do need to hold some back. Got to hold the 2,500 for now. Cheers, Macca. Well, I'm trying hard. I've got a that's a good question actually. What is my drawdown from last week? I win lost expectation. So I'm 9,800 in the hole on my trade profit. I'm actually a little bit less than that because I'm actually a little bit more than that because of transaction fees. But based on my statistics, I'm just shy of 10,000 in drawdown at the moment, Friday. So nice to be able to recover that if I can. I'm not going to say that I will, but you know, we're 5,000 up. We're halfway there, 60% of the way nearly. I'm just getting a bit of a plateau up at 1440s. When was the last time we were up at 1440s? So we've got a 1450 is the level. We had support at 14.50 back in December, and we've got resistance at $15, 15.50. It's basically it's the quarter, half, and whole dollars now. Hey Vincent, good to see you again. Just consolidating up at around the quarter dollar level, between 14 and 14.30. It wasn't a bad weekend, quiet weekend as it happens. I was watching the sport, the women's football, and Wimbledon, and the Formula One, and of course the rugby internationals, which were really good. All four of the home nations winning on foreign soil, which is virtually unheard of. So the rugby was it was particularly good weekend for the rugby. Oh, shut up! I'm busy. I'm in a trade. I can't answer the door. It's okay. You don't need to cry. It's not for you. Just kids wanting to come into the stairwell. They can go forth and multiply. So now we've got a low here on the 5 minute, 14.04. That's our cutoff. How's the trading session so far, Vincent? Well, I'm nearly 6,000 up, so that should speak volumes. We're building up a nice cushion on this one. So this is Plrx, so Pliant Therapeutics, and the reason it's moving up was it's good clinical trial results. So decent catalyst. So you're nothing to do with me. Shut up! It's nothing to do with me. We're currently at 14.20s. Our average cost is 13.86. So we're in a good spot. Not in a bad spot, Vincent. Oh, missed that one. Not paying attention. Are we going to get a reversal? Because I need to get out of that. If not, here's me thinking it's consolidating, and then it just sells. Oh, right, okay. If we get a new low, I'll get out. This is kind of it's right at our average buy, so we've not lost too much. 86, it's currently 81. So we need to get a bounce on the 20 EMA, or we just get out. Shut up, Miyako. What did I say? Need a bounce here. This isn't cost us anything. Might just get out now anyway. Not really cost us anything. I'm expecting it might bounce, so I could potentially add to the position. If I'm add to the position and buy the dip, it's not that I'm averaging down into a losing position. It looks like it based on where I am, but I've got a cushion on the ticket. I've been taking profits and going, so I potentially could add. If I see that this might start making a move upwards and not get a bounce on the quarter dollar level, then I can add to the position to take advantage of the move back up. When we're just consolidating around the quarter dollar level, $0.75. 75, 25, 50, 75 cents, and the whole dollar levels are all key psychological levels. If this breaks low, I'm just going to get out. Okay, I'll get out now. I'll keep the 5,200. That's a good start on the day. I'm happy with that so far. So why have I got nobody in the chat? Shut up, or else I'll bounce you. Come here. Got one of these treats? Yeah, that stopped you barking at the door, didn't it? Will fall. I mean, I'm going to give you another treat, don't you? I'm going to see if I can see those kids that are playing good. Tap latch or whatever you want to call it. Ringing on my doorbell wanting me to let them in. They can. Judging from the news, do you see this selling off later? Depends how the market reacts. But yes, it will sell off at some point. Maybe not today. It will sell off later, but because obviously you always get the peaks and troughs. But it will probably continue to move up. It will sell off at some stage. It may not. It probably will hold a lot of its gains. It won't sell everything. You're a good girl. It's a little bit of a fake out. We had this pullback, and then first candle to make a new high was this one. So it's a bit of a bear flag, if you will, a bit of a bull trap or bear flag, whichever one you want to take. So I'm glad we got out. Pulling back now. Don't mind this consolidation. If it pulls back towards the VWAP, we've got an hour before the market opens, so it pulls back close to the VWAP. It's not quite as extended, so you're less likely to get the big flush. Don't mind. Let's see if there's anything else moving. Nothing else moving at the moment. So this is where all the retail traders will have eyes on this, with the exception of the people that are probably holding bags with DWAC. So Plrx, Pliant Therapeutics shares are trading higher after the company said its treatment for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, is lung disease, was well tolerated in a phase 2A study, so clinical trials. Now, what did I say last month about the Twitter deal not going through as well? I said that, you know, Elon is full of crap. Don't get me wrong, the guy's a genius, but he's just, there's a very fine line between genius and insanity, and he walks it very, very well, very, very closely. As soon as he started umming and ahhing about things, it looked like it wasn't going to go through. So he's pulled. So he's pulled out. So Twitter are considering suing him for $1 billion. It's like, what? Twitter are going to sue Elon Musk for $1 billion. I'd like to see how that plays out in court. Yeah, DWAC, it's up about 15% today, but right now there's no trade. It's underneath the VWAP. It's downwards trending. It was up at 32.50s, almost $33 earlier in pre-market, but it's lost a lot of its gains and is downwards trending right now. So potentially there could be. I mean, that was a catastrophe from a business perspective. It's an absolute catastrophe. The whole Truth Social launch and everything else, but it's up on the day, so we might get a turnaround. I would like to see, if I'm going to trade DWAC again. I've not traded it today, but I've traded it when it originally launched last year. If I'm going to trade this, I would need to see it above the VWAP. Let's see what the warrants are like. made more on the warrants last year than I did on the actual on the stock. So the warrants are down at $7.25. So just so you know, you won't with the warrants you won't get as much volume, but they will mimic the wider the wider stock movements. So if you want to trade DWAC, but you're thinking it may be a little bit too expensive, then just trade the warrants instead. So DWAC up at $28, the warrants are like $7. It's a lot less expensive. It's 4 times the difference. Well, the thing is, he bought Twitter stock, so he can get away with that. They can get away with that. So he bought Twitter stock. So Twitter now, he's made a loss on the Twitter stock that he's bought. So he can write those losses off against the gains he's made in Tesla. So yeah, I'm losing there, Snooze. Can you not see the numbers there? I'm $5 up already, and the market hasn't even opened yet. So the only loser in this chat, pal, is you. But fair play, you keep coming into the stream making yourself look like an idiot because everybody on the stream thinks that what you are as well, you know? You wouldn't know how to trade if a trader's tip came and bit you on the ass. Yeah, exactly, Alex. And you don't get halts with trading the warrants either. But you can still trade the action, funnily enough, with warrants, whilst the main stock is halted for a volatility halt. And it will also give you an indication of which direction the main stock is going to go on resumption, because you can watch the warrants, and if they continue to move up, then you know that you're probably going to gap up on resumption. So it's a good indicator if you're in it, not just on DWAC, but if you're in a stock that also has warrants and you get caught in a halt, it's good to switch over to on one of your charts, switch over to the warrants and just see how the price action continues, whether it starts to sell off or whether it starts to continue rallying, because it is a good indication of the actual stock movements when on resumption. Will it gap up? Will it gap down? Will it be sideways, etc., etc.? Mullen going crazy. Let's have a look at Mullen. I've not seen it on the scanners, so I'll have a look. Oh, it's moving up 140s now. I won't see it on the scanners because I don't trade anything under $2. So Mullen's up at 20% up on the day. I'll tell you what, I'll have a look for you, see if I can see any catalyst. Mullen Automotive, Tesla, Twitter. No, why is Mullen stock? That's from Friday. Okay, so on Friday, Tesla announced it's preparing to open up its supercharging network to non-Tesla electric vehicles, which could include the Mullen. Opens the door for Mullen drivers to utilize Tesla's charging network. Mullen does have a single commercial vehicle on, doesn't have a single commercial vehicle on the road yet. Reservations for the Mullen 5 are currently live, although production on the EV won't start until 2023, the fourth quarter of. So I'm not seeing any specific news catalyst from today, just Friday. So I don't know why Mullen's moving up, but it's already up 20%. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry, Chesney. He doesn't have a job. He can't hold down a job. He doesn't have a few months. He's never held down a job long enough to have a few months' wages, so he wouldn't know what a few months' wages are. Oh, hey Matt, good to see you back. All right, so we're just pulling back. We had a little bounce, bit of a fake out on the 5. Probably could have got that on the 1 and 2, but bit of a fake out on the 5. I want to see this holding over $14. It really is the main stock to be watching of a decent price. LJPC is the top gapper at the moment, which is 81%, and that's basically, it's been acquired, so that's not a trade. DWAC is the third one, Digital World Acquisition Corp, and that's currently pulling back some. Then we're kind of struggling, anything moving. Kidney. I'm going to have to get some more antihistamines for the hay fever. It's weird because I've never had hay fever up until recently. Didn't have hay fever as a kid. Used to go and play in the hay and stuff on my uncle's farm, so it would have been a problem if I did have hay fever. I'll draw a little ray line going through this. See what's there we go. So I want to see it. You can throw a wick above it, that's fine. I want to see it hold it, break it and hold it as support, this little trend line. Got this other line from down here as well, so we're getting a convergence of this wedge here. It's triangle, narrowing triangle. Is it time to buy semiconductors again? Where are you going to buy them from? Because no manufacturer can buy them. That's the problem with semiconductors at the moment. Is supply is just, demand far outweighs supply. There's just no supply at the moment. That's why PCs are cost a fortune at the moment. Anything that requires semiconductors costs an absolute fortune at the moment. There's a backlog on computing parts. There's a backlog on cars and automotive vehicles as well, because they can't get the semiconductors for it. So the demand is definitely there for semiconductors, which is, there we go. We've brought $14, so now I want to see it hold. I'll take a starting position there. Very tight risk on this one. Bottom of that wedge. Back out on both the 1 and 2 minute. We break 14. That's fine. Right, I'll just get out. Get out there. It's just faking me out. AMC, I'll take a look at AMC for you, no problem at all. There's not a lot of volume pre-market. It's if you look at it on the 60-minute chart, you can see that as well. It's held most of its gains from last week, which is a good thing. It's slightly up on the day, like 1%, 2%, something like that. It's up at 1480s, so we could see some decent action with AMC. If you look at GME as well, for the rest of the 8 movement in the marketplace, pretty similar situation. It's held most of its gains from last week. Sold off, heavy on Thursday. but then kind of consolidated the whole of Friday. So AMC's looking the stronger of the two right now, but we did just get Thor Love and Thunder opened over the weekend to good reception. So let's see what happens at the bell. I can see AMC getting up towards 1550s again. But we'll see. I'm only a guy on the internet. What do I know? Just an opinion, not financial advice. Rough belt seems to be moving up at the moment. Let's have a look. That's a big move. Why has that happened? Let's have a look at the news. Tough Belt Industries reports 3.5 million in Q2 sales through Amazon, up 20% year over year. That's just news just come out. Amazon sales up 20%. Interesting. Don't just chase it. Wait for a nice entry. What are we buying this morning, Ladybug? Well, I've been playing with Pliant Therapeutics. Tough Belt has just hit the screen and looks to be fairly strong. Gonna get in there for the whole dollar support. See if we get the move up. Just a little pullback. Okay, so cent ain't enough. Look for at least 10. Get 10. Looking for 15, 315. Not quite getting there, pulling back again. We're looking for the support at the whole dollar, which is the $3. Only got in for a starter at 2,500. Looking for 315. Current high is 312. We're looking for new highs. This is Tough Belt, just announced, just reported 20% growth in Amazon sales for Q2. TBLT, tablet. Tough Belt with the ticker tablet, TBLT. Don't mind this little pullback as long as it holds the whole dollar. Well, we'll get out at 95. That's 10 cents. We're just giving it 10 cents. That's all we're giving it. Okay, so now do we get the move up? We're hitting 310 on the ask, but not on the bid. The spreads aren't too bad. It's like 1-2 cents. We'll just get out there. So go back to Pliant Therapeutics. We'll miss the breakout. It's just typical, right at the apex of that wedge. Now we need to look for a different entry. Who says technical analysis doesn't work when you've got this narrowing wedge and you get to the apex and it breaks out? Yeah, I see that alphabet. When you're in a trade, you can't get FOMO on the other one. That's the problem. We're going to pull back now. Big range on this one. Well, that was my knee cracking, if anyone heard that. I didn't even move. All I did was wiggle my ankles. My knee cracked. Go figure. I guess I'm getting old. There's no guessing about it. I am getting old. Which is why I don't play rugby anymore. Just watching the game gives me injuries, gives me tight hamstrings. We're getting big moves in very short space of time on this one, so just be careful. It's got some range. Look at that, 20 cent that moved in a fraction of a second. That was up to the upside, so it can move to the downside as well as the upside in just as quick, probably quicker. Fear is a stronger emotion than greed. Just remember that. 75 is what I'm looking for. 75 on the bid though. 76 on the ask, but looking for 75 on the bid. You can set drawdown limits, Vincent. There isn't one. It's just whatever my equity is. I haven't set a drawdown limit. You can set daily max loss. You can set trade max loss. There's all kinds of things that you can set, but you have to specifically set them with your broker. And my broker has on the system actually has a form you fill in that you want to set on a daily basis for max drawdown or anything like that. So if you want to put that in, it's usually broker specific. And it's usually something that most brokers will be very accommodating because they don't want you to lose money. If you lose money, you're going to stop trading. And the more trading that you're doing with them, the more money they're making. So it's in your interest for them to protect your equity as much as you protect it. Spreads have just widened to 10 cents. Why is the price different from 212? I don't know. I'm not trading on 212. And I don't know what your prices are. I don't know if your prices are worse or better than mine. 212 is probably worse because it's not a direct access platform. So I'm getting direct market access. So I get better prices, but narrower spreads in the main, faster transactions. Whereas 212, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the commission-free broker? They usually they get payment for order flow, so they'll go through whichever market maker gives them better kickbacks. 895 on Plrx. Are you sure? You can't be on 895 on Plrx. Not unless you're talking about, I know what it is. You're looking at the spot price on 212, and that's Friday's closing price. I'm trading pre-market, so this is pre-market prices. Did I buy it last time? 56. Am I buying at that price when the spreads are so high, so wide? 10-cent spreads. I wasn't getting any value there for adding to my position. Tony, you're an idiot. Need to exit, take that off. It might be worth trading at the opening bell. You never know. It might have reached its peak by then. That's the thing with these bioscience companies, is that they will move up on the news, and then they'll get the trading done, and then they can start selling off. So they'll move up quick and they'll move down quick. So let's see what happens at the bell, whether it's going to be, I mean, there might be something else moving. So I'm seeing Humanigen hitting the scanners, just 13% up there in the last 15 minutes. And just pull back again. This needs to break 1470 because the spreads are sort of kind of, they're narrowing now. They went up to like 10, 12 cents. So back up to 1470 and have a chance of making some money again. Consolidating on the $0.50. Famous last words. Bit of a fake out there. It did break a new high, but then didn't do anything, no follow through. It gutted I missed this breakout. It's a lovely little breakout, that. It's kind of 75 cents, 80-cent move. Hey, Nads. I'm okay now. You know, I've beaten the old COVID monster, so I'm not feeling too bad now. Reduce my exposure there, cover the cost of that transaction. We're up at 570s. Want to see it test at $15? That would be nice. $15.70s. Okay. This is going all the way back down. Buy that dip. Am I waiting for a pullback? I got in on the pullback, but it didn't follow through. So I got in here at on the pullback from went up to 1490. I pulled back to 1450, so that's when I got in, and that's where I am right now. Is 1454. So we're getting a bit of a pullback here, 1427. See this previous trend line being respected. Yeah, it was a false breakout on all the time frames then. We on the 5, on the 2, on the 1, a false breakout. Got devil horns as well, which is usually an exit signal, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Probably famous last words. Just holding around that 1425, the $250 level. So I don't want to see that trend line being used as resistance now. I want to see it break that trend line. So it's currently about 1438, that trend line. So if we get about 1440, I thought 1437, I think it is. Just holding this one. It is the top mover today. Tough Built is moving up as well, but this one's a top mover. Tough Built's pulled back some. WAC just consolidating a little bit. This one's now consolidating. We got the quite a bit of volume in the downwards in that down red candle, and the volume kind of just died out. So we're just waiting for a bit of volume to kick in, maybe. How long have we got before the bell? Half an hour. Half an hour before the bell. This is Pliant Therapeutics, which is a ticker symbol PLRX. I have traded this previously. How often? Yeah, I traded up around the 20s and 30s when it was up there last year. So it does have form for being a big runner when it gets good news. I'm thinking I might just Put this and then re-enter later for the move back up. Just watching the bid and the ask. We've got 4-cent spreads right now. So that's an indication of the, let's narrow into kind of 1 and 2 cents. So that's not too bad. That's a good sign. We've got a seller at 34 and 35. Already passed those, so just goes to show that your level 2 can be manipulated. Seller at 34, 35, just blasted straight past it. Then came back. So once we got over kind of, we got up to that kind of 40. We're just holding on the $quarter level now. That was a bit of a false breakout. Got the pullback on the 5-minute. Normally it looks very similar to a bull flag, so you get the pullback on a 5-minute and a good move up. It should have been testing $15 if that had followed the analysis. Excuse me. That was painful. Why is it sometimes when you sneeze, it actually hurts your chest? It should be your head that it hurts, not your chest. Looking for the move back up towards the $half. Back up over 1430s, so it's trying to get there. Okay. So we've got 7,500 shares at the moment. Up to 1444 on the ask. There we go. Just broke the $half on the ask. Continued move. So we're looking for break of the $half and up to towards 1460s. Okay, we've got 5,000 shares. We just took a little bit off. I want to see it hold the $half as a support now. Move up towards a $3/4 level. At 460s on the ask. I want to see it above. I want to see it test 470s now. Hey Matt, what's stopping your heart? Have you been hit by Cupid? Have you? Let's see it hold the $half. Hold that trend line from earlier. Up at 1460s on the ask again. We're going to looks like we're going to try and test 1470s. There we go. 1468, 1470. There we go. Take half off there. Back in, still in for 2,500. We're back over $5,000 in profit on the day, and we're testing 15s. And just broke $15. Pulls back. It's looking strong today. So we're breaking highs. Looking strong. Ah, right. Okay, you're talking about the sneezing. I heard that somewhere that it can actually cause a heart attack because it actually stops your heart for that split second. If you've got a regular heartbeat or you know, arrhythmia or whatever it's called, it can be quite problematic in hay fever season. Find a bit of resistance at $15. I'll hold the 2,500 shares right now whilst we're up there. I'll get out if it comes back all the way down to the $0.50, but hold it while it's up there. It is the top mover at the moment, pre-market. So we're testing $15. We're trying to test it as support now. The 315. Got a higher day, 1505, 1510, sorry. 1509, I was right. 1510. Built back up to 270s. I'm just right. Buy and sell. Okay, so 1488. That's the new average cost. I just locked in a few more gains. Increase the size to for 5,000 shares. So now we're up at 520s. $15 is our new exit. It needs to hold the whole dollar. Otherwise, if it breaks the whole dollar, I'll exit for a profit. There we go. It broke $15 briefly, so I'm just taking it. So we're up to $6,000 profit pre-market. We've got 25 minutes to go. Well, don't do it when you're driving then, Matt. You said you were like to sneeze when you're driving. I said, wonder how much. I said, it'll be a good statistic for someone to find out. Someone Google that quickly. How many people are involved in car accidents each year due to sneezing? Apparently, if you sneeze with your eyeballs open, they can pop out of your head. Go figure. That's another urban myth that I heard. I got out there, a couple of dojis, a couple of exit indicators say that it's ready for a pullback, but well, that's why I got out there. Let's see. Now, the bioscience stocks always go down eventually. So what goes up must come down, and never more so within the bioscience sector. But no, the answer to that is it depends. So at the bell, it depends how extended it is. If it's extremely extended, at the moment, I would say this is fairly extended above the VWAP, for example. So the likelihood is we're going to get a dip and then a potential rip back up again. But it is quite extended. What I do like is when it consolidates and pulls back towards the VWAP before the bell. It's still gapping up on the day. It's still got high gains on the day. And then we get a rip, and what's known as the gap and go. It's probably my favorite strategy is the gap and go. So it gaps up, it starts to pull back and consolidate just before the bell. So you're actually not in the position, so that you're not risking anything going into the open. And then at the open, it then moves up and it breaks pre-market highs. And that's when you enter. Is it for it to break those pre-market highs? Because as soon as it breaks those pre-market highs, it says, "Look, I'm feeling strong." And it usually goes on to, very often you'll see parabolic movers do that, and you go on to get a parabolic move out of it and get $2-3, which is a phenomenal return per share, that is. So if you're in for 1,000 shares and you get a $2 move out of it, it's $2,000 right there. Good morning, Dunkers. Need to go get my hair cut. I'll do that after the stream. Take her for a WALK, and then then I'll go and get my hair cut. Hey PMZ, good to see you. No problem at all, Gary. Oh, Macca. So the exit indicators I got up here were absolutely spot on. You can see this consolidation, got a bit of a pullback here. It could be a nice little bull flag setup. I'm just waiting for now to re-break the whole $1.15 and potentially move back up again. But I'm 2/3 of the way to securing Friday's drawdown, and there we go. Could have got in there for the break of 15. I just didn't. So I'm 2/3 of the way to securing Friday's drawdown, and I've already secured today's goal. So the daily goal I have is, as for people who are regular to the stream, you'll know that I target $5,000 on average, $5,000 a day in profits. For those of you that are not new to the stream, that are new to the stream, sorry, I target $5,000 a day because across the course of, as an average, across the course of the year, with an average of 20 trading days a month, that'll give me 1.2 million in trade profit. Take out the transaction fees and commissions, etc., then it should average out that I'm making $1 million in net profit on the year. So that's the goal. At the beginning of the year, that was the goal I set myself, to average 5,000 a day in trade profit. Hey, Scott. I'm feeling good today, Jack. If I'm being honest, I feel I'm feeling on point today. It's been a couple of weeks. Since I contracted COVID, it really knocked me off. So my my head's been foggy. Judgment's not been great. Even though I was green on the week last week, Friday almost ruined it for me. Yes, I've hit my daily goal, Vincent. So 5K is my daily goal, and I'm just shy of 6K now, which is why I'm not taking a trade, just because there's a potential breakout. So that whilst it did break out, it didn't break out to the level I would have been wanting it to there, because I was looking for it on the 5 minute, and instead of getting a breakout, we actually got still got that doji there, topping tail doji, which is on the 5-minute, which is a reversal sign, and we've got a red doji following it at the moment. So I didn't take the trade there. On the 2-minute, we got the doji at the top of the move. We've not filled in that wick on the 2-minute, so looking at the 2-minute, you've got the move up, then the doji, and then we've not filled the wick. So we need to fill the wick, otherwise it's still a reversal indicator. This consolidation right now is fine. I'm going to move these trend lines. I'll always come back to them later or redraw them. I could be good for the day there, Vincent. Yeah, I've hit my goal. If I didn't trade if I don't do any more trading, then that's fine. Well, I'll tell you what I've done, because it's all about sizing. So me going, I mean, as you know, I start each month for $30,000 in my account, and then I take the profit at the end of each month and I withdraw that. I put a third into more secure, less risky investments. I'll put a third away for the tax man when he comes along wanting his slice of the pie, and I'll leave a third for myself to do with whatever I want. Sometimes I'll buy crypto with it. Sometimes I'll buy, I'll go out and treat myself, go on holiday, whatever. Cost of living. It's just consolidating at $15 now. As long as if you look at this on the 60 on the hourly chart, as long as we're continuing to be green on the hourly chart, we're still upwards above the VWAP. It's still looking strong. As soon as we get our first 1 hour red candle, that's usually my time to say call it quits on that particular stock until we get another green candle on the 1 hour. So I shouldn't be giving this much information away on these live streams. I really shouldn't. I should be charging for this on the course. So if you want to get it all consolidated, come join the course. But you're getting most of it for free. All these little nuggets of gold. And going back to what I was saying there, Duncan, is the difference between someone starting the month with a $30,000 account and someone starting the month with a $5,000 account is vast. You get the compounding effect of the leverage associated with that. With $30,000 and 6 times leverage, I've got a $180,000 buying power account. Whereas some of the $5,000 account has only got a $30,000 buying power. So the difference you can make with that leverage is huge. So me making $4,000 or $5,000 a day and someone making $400 or $500 a day, the only difference is sizing. If they're getting on the same trades and they're trading them the same way, there is no difference in terms of performance. It's just sizing. I don't know about that. I think Tesla's not seen the worst of it yet. It's going to trade with the market, and I think the market itself has not seen the worst of it. Right now, the market's down. So let's have a look at the SPY. I've not looked at the wider markets today, so let's look at it on the 15 minutes. So you see where we finished up here on Friday. We had this very choppy day on Friday, up, down, and then it's gapped down today. So we've got CPI data later this week. We've got energy stocks prices are lower at the moment. I can see we've had a bit of a bear market rally. We've got up to kind of that 390 on the SPY. I can see we're going to sell off again for a bit now. My own opinion, not financial advice. I think we're going to have a selling day today. I'll be very surprised if we get green on the day, and if we do, I could see a hard sell after it. And if we look at Tesla, it's likely to be just following the market. Pretty much. It's slightly up on the day. Didn't get. It's the move up and then the gap down, but it's slightly up on Friday's closing price. So it's forming a little bit better than the market, but the movement is pretty much the same. It's just not as severe as the wider market. Right, Plrx is breaking out back up above 1520s. I'm not seeing an entry right now. Very extended. Chasing it up here, it can pull back at any time. So just look for the consolidation first. Next time you get in, look for a nice pullback, consolidation, and then the breakout. This one here, we got the breakout, but it was very difficult to judge that one because of the way it was moving and ranging sideways. But it did fill in the candle here. Moving up nicely now. Don't be quiet. Off we got 10 minutes to the bell. Missed the entirety of this breakout because we've not really had a pullback to get in. Possibly, like I say, right now it's fairly extended. So we've got 9 minutes to the open. It is quite extended. It's actually at breaking highs right now. So usually when this happens, we get a little bit of a pullback, potentially a potential dip and rip, get a pullback at the bell. People who maybe have been in this previously, still holding bags, decide to get out. If you look at this on the daily and zoom out, you can see where it was previously. How much I traded it last year. Let's zoom in. So we're up here now at 1560s. So getting levels up here. We're getting resistance levels there now. So last year we had resistance and support here at kind of $16. Where we're at now. This is a key level. $16 is not just the whole dollar level, it's a key level based on historical support and resistance levels. Let's see, can we test $16? Just taking a quick position there, 2,500 shares for a move up to test $16. I don't mind getting out if it breaks the $half level, 15.50. So effectively giving it 20 cents. 20 cents to make 30. That's not ideal, but it's not a bad ratio. Risk 20 to make 30. It differs. It has to differ. You have to make plan your trade on each stock because each stock has a different range, has a different price action. So you can't have the same risk. And again, the spreads you've got to factor into that as well. So if you've got a rangey, spready stock, let's say 20-25 cent spreads on a stock, but it's got big range. It's got ATR of like 50, 60 cents, then you can't have a 10-cent risk. You're probably going to have a 50-cent risk. And you do it accordingly. So the sizing also is impacted by that, because what you don't want to be doing is taking 10,000 shares of something with a 50-cent risk, because you're risking $5,000 that way. Whereas you might take 1,000 shares with a 50-cent risk, because that way you're only risking $500. Does that, if that makes sense? So each stock that you trade you'll have a different risk versus reward. Well, your ratio should be you should be aiming for 2 to 1 or better in most cases. But you might risk 10 cents, you might risk 20 cents, you might risk 20 cents to make 40, you might risk 10 cents to make 20. I want to see this testing $16. Lock in a little bit more gains on the 10 cents. Just took some profit at 10 cents. Still 2,500 shares in. We're up at 1590s. I want to see it testing 16. Well, I'm going to exit when it hits 16 on the ask, just in case. Rejected at 16. I'm going to take that profit there. We got rejected at the whole dollar, just before the whole dollar. So the high of the day is 15.95. We got rejected at the whole dollar. I'll just take the profit there. So 6,300 up on the day. I want to see this. We've got resistance at $16 historically, and right now we've got resistance at 16. So I need to see it break the whole dollar now. We've got 1602. Now we probably will get a bit of a pullback at this for the whole dollar pullback, at which point will be a decent entry for a move back up. Oh, we just keep going. We'll enter for 2,500 shares with a risk at 16. So we'll give it 10 cents. Getting support at the whole dollar now. So my account size today, my equity 32,000 today is my equity. I start each month with 30,000, and I didn't start trading July until Tuesday, because obviously the holiday weekend, I was sick on Friday, and then the July 4th holiday weekend on Monday last week. So I had 3 profitable days, and then I lost nearly $10,000 on Friday. So it was actually 20,000, and then I traded, managed to trade half of it back, which a bit disappointing that I lost 20,000 in the first place. It was just me not managing my risk properly, being a little bit lazy. So we're about 6,000 in profit on the month coming into today. So based on where we are, we're up to 12, back up to 12,000 in profit on the month. We've still got a bit about 4K drawdown based on Friday's performance. But look, if we don't do that today, we can do that tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever. Zoom out. Oh, want it to hold the $16 level. Yeah, you don't use trading apps for day trade. They're okay for buying a piece of this or buying a piece of that and hodling. That's okay for trading apps. If you're going to be day trading, you need a broker. You need a proper broker with direct access to the market. There you go. There's your gap and go. I'll wait for it to prove itself and I'll go in with a bigger size. Wait for this opening candle to form. We beat the pre-market highs, but it then had a bit of a sell-off. So I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback and then a potential rip. Whilst we're doing that, I'll change the scanners over. Should get a bit of a dip and rip on this one, hopefully. Retest the highs. There we go. We just locked in another couple of thousand. I'll put a 20-cent trailing stop on there now. I've got $5,000 with a 20-cent trailing stop. I had my first red day on Friday, Ronan. How much is the course? It's $150 a month. We're into a halt, volatility halt. So I've got my halt in place, my stop in place. That's a volatility halt. So right now I'm 9,600 unrealized on this particular ticker. I'm 7,000 realized. So collectively, right now I'm 16,000 good on the day. So we're having a good day. You can see red because that's tough built, Kiryant. Tough built, we tried to, it was $300 on tough built, but we've made 6,500 on Pliant Therapeutics already, and we're just shy of 10,000 in this halt right now, unrealized. And it's looking to gap up. It's going to gap up. So this is going to gap up. So I've got a 20-cent trailing stop on this at the moment. So I should maybe get 20,000 out of this today. The way that this is looking right now, I've got a 19, a whole dollar gap up. So well, not quite a whole dollar. Yeah, whole dollar gap up at the moment is what it's looking like. So I've got 5,000 shares at the moment. So this should resume at 9:36 market time, 2:36 my time. We've got 3 minutes left. Now it may not gap up by so much, but that's what I'm seeing on the montage. $19.04 it says there, so I don't think it will gap up by that much. I'll be very surprised if it does. My average cost is $17.12. But if it gaps up by $19.04, fine. I've got a 20-cent trailing stop at the moment, and I think I'm going to need to cancel that. I'll keep it for now. I can always enter if it continues to move up. I can always re-enter if it stops me out. If it resumes at 19.04 like it's saying it will, That's almost $10,000 in gains. So we've got 2 minutes to wait. Plrx is the top mover on the day, over 100% up on the day today already. $19.04 resumption still. $19.41 on the level 2. What's the price target for Mullen this week? That's a good question. Let's have a look. I've got a minute. Can I have a look at Mullen Motors for you right now? What's it doing? Selling off right now. So I don't like that pre-market chop there. It's selling off right now. It's back down at 130s. So it's below the VWAP. It's selling off. DWAC moving up 22%. It's up at $30. Testing $30. Very volatile at the moment. Tough built, just sideways. So PLRX, we should get resumption in like 30 seconds. 40 seconds, sorry. I've got 19.04 for the resumption. I've got a bid of 1830 and on the level 2, a bid of 1830 on and an ask of 1994, but I've got the resumption at 1904. So this looks like it's going to gap up. It's a question of will it continue or will it pull back 20 cents and stop me out? Oh, it continues. There we go. I got stopped out for $17,000. I'm up on that one already. So what did I get stopped out at? 1896. Not bad. Not bad. $17,000 up on the day. That's that's last week's drawdown gone. That's last Friday's drawdown. What created my interest in PLRX? PLRX, it's clinical trials, phase 2 clinical trials. It was moving up pre-market, gapping up pre-market, phase 2 clinical trials on high relative volume. That's what created the interest. So that's why I started trading it, and I started trading it around 12. I'll tell you exactly what I started trading it at. 12.37. I took my first position with it. So we've moved up $7 since I took the first trade. Yeah, Scott, it's unfortunately with you get occasionally when you get a bear market, you'll get a rally which is like a bit of a bounce, and then it sells off again, and that's what we've experienced today on the SPY. So right now the high of this one is 1913. So I need to be back above $19 to get back into this one. Don't mind the pullback, fill the gap. We've got a little bit of gap here that needs to be filled. So the high of this halt was 1804, I think it was. So it needs to pull back down to 1804. Got down to 1810. Just fill that gap and then we can move up. There we go. There's the gap filled. Now we can look for a move upwards. So that's my favorite strategy, the gap and go. So we were consolidating a little bit. I was holding a position there, just held it as it moved up, and then we added to the position as it moved up. Gap and go. Classic. Well, you don't necessarily need out of hours trading as out of hours information, Curiant. So I made more money. I was, what, 6,000 up on this coming into the bell. And then after the bell, I've just made 11. So this is the top mover with the top volume. So this is what everybody's watching. $17,000. I'm happy just to take that and leave for the day. Just need to see an entry. So the next 1913, 1920. Oh, 1925 potentially. That's not a stock pick. I'm not giving signals or anything like that. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me. I'm a little bit annoyed at that actually, because I had the 20-cent trailing stop and it went up to a high of 2015 and I got filled at 1890 something. That's a bit of a jet. 1896. Shows you how quick it can move against you. I should have got filled there at what, worst case scenario, 1980. That's what happens with stops, is that they're not accurate. You get slippage with a stop. It's a market order, it's not a limit order. You can we're just consolidating right now. Anything else moving? DWSC up at above $30 now. Not moving with the volatility that I want it to. I would like it to. AMC sideways more than anything. Tough built, low price stock, sideways moving. So I'll watch Plrx for a continuation above $19. Wider market selling off. This is the SPY. So this is the S&P 500. Nasdaq sell off. Dow Jones, a little bit of a pump at the gates, but then sell off. The Russell index is selling off as well, which is the small cap index, which is more relevant to people like myself, like trading the low float, low cap stocks. And this is a heart disease catalyst. Look, good phase two trials. Pliant Therapeutics. Now, it's not a tiny float. It's just shy of 22 million shares in the float, so it's not too bad. Let's take 2,500 shares there. It might pull back. Break of highs. Looking for a break of highs here. 2025 is our buy price. Look for a continued move up. . Tried to get in for the break of 20, but slippage. I've got the stop there at 1954. There we go. Stop me out. Yes, it is written. It's documented, and it's. I give it to everybody that joins the course as well, Vincent. Funnily enough, so the trading course, you can use it as a template. My trading plan, you can use it as a template, or you can devise your own, or you can use that verbatim, if you will. So there's a whole section on trading as a business and trading plan and the psychology of trading and things like that. Yeah, Curian, there's a possibility. I don't think it will today because we gap down. What tends to happen is if you gap down and then sell off, it doesn't usually rally. If you gap down and rally, it then sometimes sells off later. Or if you gap up and sell off, it can rally later. But if you gap down and sell off, it doesn't usually rally. It's usually downwards for the day. Not saying that that's what's going to be the case. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't sue me. Two and a half thousand shares. I just put 20-cent stop in place. 2,500 shares. Let's get back over. Let's get back over that 16,000 level that we had earlier. There we go. 1665. So 16,325 after the tablet as well. Did AMC recover? No, AMC is still selling off. I'll show AMC now. I'm not too worried about missing out on that move. So this is AMC. Launch out of the gates and then sell off at a bit of a bounce, and it's now still selling off. So let's go back to Pliant Therapeutics. Another halt upwards. Oh, I missed that one. That's just typical. That's all right. So this is going to... Yeah, this is going to gap up as well. So this could go parabolic today, guys. Pliant Therapeutics, it's already up 141%. It literally is going parabolic today. So I'm not in it right now. I should have been. But hey, look, I'm not going to get FOMO. I'm having a good day, Alistair. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the main protagonist today is Pliant Therapeutics. The ticker is PLRX, Alistair. That's not a stock pick. It's not a signal. It's currently in a halt, and it's halted up, and it will resume higher. Well, we've covered the drawdown from Friday and then some, so we're good on the day. We're over 20k profitable on the month already, so it's all in all a good start to this week. Well, I don't know which broker you're with, Scott, but Dash Trader works with a lot of different brokers, interactive brokers, Trade Zero, CMEG, which is what I'm using at the moment. It works with a lot of different brokers. You just ask your broker if they work with Dash Trader. That's okay, Alistair. You had a good week last week, and that's the main thing. So you don't have to trade every day. You trade when you feel like it. That's the beauty of trading. And if you're not feeling it, you don't trade. You don't do what I do and trade regardless, just because you feel obligated to the people that follow your stream and end up losing money, which I've done on more than one occasion. That's no problem at all, Alistair. Like I say, you've no obligations to the market. You took profits out of the market last week, and that was a great result. So you can afford to take time off this week, and then there'll always be another stock moving. There'll always be another trade, another day. Tomorrow, Thursday, next week, whenever it is. Last December, I took 2.5 weeks without a single trade. I didn't go anywhere. I just didn't trade for 2.5 weeks. I needed to recharge. So 47. So this should resume at 52. So we've got a little while yet. Another 2 minutes yet. Why you can't withdraw? I'm not sure what you mean, celebrities. Why can't you withdraw what? You've lost me. Are you in the trade? Are you locked in this trade? Are you trading Plrx right now? Are you trading Pliant Therapeutics, and because it's halted, you can't sell? Is that what you're saying? It's because it's a volatility halt. If a stock moves a certain percentage in a certain time frame, the SEC will halt the trading on that stock for 5 minutes. It's in a halt. So if it's a particularly volatile move and it's moved a particular amount, it will halt it for 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. The longest I've been caught in a volatility halt is 30 minutes, and it moved up, and when it resumed, it gapped up 25%. And that is still my biggest trade to date. So individual trade to date. No, I totally agree with PMZ. Never copy me blindly, simply because I might be in a trade. This stream is not live. It's live, but it's delayed. There's a delay on the stream. There's latency. So I think it's about 30 seconds on TikTok, or it's about a minute on YouTube, Twitch, etc. So don't copy me blindly. You will get stung if that's the case, simply because of the latency. Okay, so 5 seconds to resumption on this one. It should resume over $23. No, it resumed sideways. That was a bit of an anticlimax. Resumed sideways and sold off. So that's not bad, actually, because that means it will move up now. Come on, move up. Do as you're told. Good move up. Giving back money to the markets. I don't like doing that. This is what happens when you get a very volatile stock. It can move very quickly. So just be careful, guys. Move to the upside as well as the downside. Just remember that. Spreads are widening, though. Getting up to 20 cent spreads on this. Well, that was a bit silly of me to do. I've waited for the pullback to consolidate, and then buy in, and then buy the dip. Dipped, and then on its way back up, I bought back in, and then it pulled back. So I'm just holding right now, only because I've got a good cushion on the ticker. Am I holding at this level? $5,000 shares right now. Low of 2006. I'm just going to put a 10. I wanted a 20-cent stop in place, not a 10-cent. I'm just going to get it. That just cost me $6,000. So we can recover that again, but that's just me making a stupid mistake and a judgment of error of judgment, shall we say? Yeah, you're blessed. Bless you. I'm looking for the move back up, and I got in and held that a little bit longer than I should have done. Waiting for the indicators. I'm looking for an entry indicator. High of this is 38. Low is 52 on this candle. 2038, 1952. Well, this actually wipes out the whole of that loss from last week, Owen. Last week I finished, on Friday, I finished just shy of 10,000 in the red. So, whilst I was 20,000 at one stage, I came back. I didn't come back all the way. I was still 10,000 in the red at the end of Friday. But hey, look, you can't have red days every. You can't have green days every day. You're always going to have a red day sometime. Okay, we're looking for the move up to $21. Back up to 21. The break of 21. Let's pull back. Lock some gains in there. Or not. Yeah, lock a few gains in there. 5,000 shares in this now. And put a 20-cent stop in place. There we go. So we're back up to 15,000. I'm going to leave it at that. Well, we'll see. This is pulling back now, testing highs. No, I'm not going to leave it at that. There's too much on the line here. I can make money here. I think we get past $23 here. We're in at 22.27. I'm looking for potentially getting to $23 here. break lows. First candle to break a new low, we exit. That didn't go as according to plan. That was a mistake on my part, but that's okay. This level of $21. Break the $half. Just touched it on the ask. There we go. It's on the ask again. We'll break. $5,000, 5,000 shares in this at the moment. I want to see a move up, break $22. Looking for the break of 22. At 2080s, 2070s. Going back a little bit too far. And we get a bounce. Break $21. If we can break back above $21, I'll buy the dip. Otherwise, I'm just going to exit if it continues, but any lower. I want to see it back up at 2150s. There's 15, 16 cents on the spreads, so it's getting a bit rangy on the spreads, guys. Just be careful if you're trading it. Spreads are getting a bit rangy. And the moves, the range is good though. It's moving, you know, you're getting 30, 40 cents, 50 cents in a single candle. You can get those big moves. Just don't want the fake outs like we just got. Want to move up past this $half. We're getting exit indicators all over the shop here, which is telling me that I'm giving money back to the market. I need to get out. Just holding it for one last push. Spreads have narrowed a little bit. 5 cents as opposed to 25 cents as they were a couple of minutes ago. One push up. Here we go. 40's on the ask. 30's on the ask. So it's not. It's getting a bit of pressure now. Shut up. You're distracting me. I want to see a bit of buying pressure now. Instead of all this selling. Let's get up above the $0.50. Just holding this. Like I say, it's quite rangy. 20 cent rate, 20 cent spreads on the between the bid and the ask now. Not great. We're in at 21.37. Right now, 21.70s, 20.70s. But we're giving back way too much. Right, I need to get out. Held this way too long, giving it way too much. Giving it way too much room, and I should have exited there when it broke $21. Giving it an extra 50 cents, and I shouldn't have done. Do as I say, not as I do, as I say. Get half of the position off there. Can always get back in later if need be. Is it turning around or is it selling off? That's the question. We'll see it above the $0.50. Make a move up. No. Put close to the $0.50 on the ask. This is selling. We're up at still hanging around that $1/4, $1/2 level. Right now, I've fucked this up. Has to turn around and go back up above $21 for this to work out for me now, which it could well do. It went up to 65s on the ask there. It's unlikely. Coming back way too much. Trying to get above the $1/2. Finding resistance though, that's the problem. $1/2 resistance. So now it's 15k up. This isn't how I envision the rest of the day to go. 20 minutes left of the stream. Okay, 55 on the bid, 63 on the ask. Not getting over that $3/4 level at the moment. Just consolidating. We've got lower volume right now. We just need a bit more buying pressure for a move back up above 21. $20.60s, $20.50s on the bid. So we're getting, again, rangy spreads to up to 20-cent spreads on the between the bid and the ask. There we go. We're up towards 21s. What we're looking for. 21.10, 21.15. It's 20.80 right now. We tapped $21 on the ask. My arms, I feel like Eminem. My bloody palms are sweaty. Got vomit on my sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. I need a drink. I've got a dry mouth. Okay. It's rejected there. Looking for 20.50, maybe. See if we don't get that move back up. Sell off now, looking a bit lax. Let's see if we can't get back up towards 21. $85 is our average cost now. $0.11 spread. Just watching this up at 2060s. It's really struggling around that $0.50 level. And at $20. It's not good. That's pretty much all my gains, giving it back by holding on to a losing position too long. Can't see the chart. Oh, this on way too long, way too long. This isn't good trading. And at 1960s puts me in the hole to about $2, $2 grand. Waiting for this to turn around, and I don't think it's going to. Kind of at max size as well. Yeah. I'm annoyed at myself now. 16k up to 2k down, unrealized. Really annoyed at myself. Need a really good reversal right now for this to work out, because it's just not working out. Got a doji there, which is a sign of a reversal, but I don't think it's going to go back up to $21. In fact, quite the opposite. It's selling off. It's a 1 hour red candle as well, as I mentioned earlier, that once you've got a 1 hour red candle, it's time to stop trading it to the long side. Half of my position gone. That's just bad trading. Bad trading, Tony. Annoyed at myself. From 16k up, 17k up to 5 grand down. So annoyed at myself. Hey, but Lee, what are you going to do? Punch myself in the head. That's what I'm going to do. That's just ridiculous trading. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm so annoyed with myself right now. That's always the case, Jack. Always the case. You get a little bit greedy, and then, as I said, I got to back to 15k. So that's me done, and then it started to make a move up, and I went in again with bigger size, and look, that's my own fault. It's my own fault. Still, this could still turn around yet, but look, on to the next. Absolutely, boomer. I'm out of it, Alistair. A little bit annoyed. I'm very annoyed with myself on that trading that then. I think that's done for the day. Excuse me. AMC's trying to make a comeback. It's gone green on the day. DWIC's, oh, that's an inverse cup and handle. That's looking very weak. What else is moving? Nothing. Doesn't even look like there's anything moving to gain that back. Okay, this time. Finish the stream in at the bottom of the hour, as I usually do. I will be going for a walk with her in just. Actually, I need to go and get my hair cut, don't I? So I'll do that. What I might do is just put a little swing on this. When I see this start to reverse, I'll put a little swing trade on it and then go and get my hair cut. Set my take profit and stop loss, and away I go. I'm not going to revenge trade, absolutely not. I'm waiting for an entry because this is quite, it's pulled back quite a bit. So just want to see if we're going to get a bounce or something that can at least make that 4 grand back. But what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red candles in a row. 4 in a row on the 2-minute. I had the opportunity to get out. I had the opportunity to get out of my whole position here for a profit, and I would have been 10k up. Go figure. Well, I think that's me done. I'll go and get my hair cut and come back to it later. From 15k down, well, from 17k up to 4.5k down. That's a little bit of an annoying thing. So we'll come back later and see what's happening. I'll give this time to consolidate and come back to the VWAP. It was very extended up there at 22s anyway, so give it a little bit of room and come back to it later. There's not a lot else moving, if anything. Nothing on volume. Upstart, maybe. But 28s. Peru's making moves upwards. It's not really doing much on the day, but it's steady climbing. Contrafract Corporation has made a steady moves up. So, no, there's not a lot moving. Everything seems to be pulling back a little bit now. Even the wider markets are still selling off. So, I'll end the stream there, guys. Do you want to see how Coin's doing? Coinbase has not had a great time of it lately. So Coinbase is down. It's actually nearly 7% down on the day. Sideways chop at the moment. Had a sell off and then it's sideways. So it's $56 at the moment, Coinbase. Yeah, well, I'll end the stream and come back to it later. Catch you guys later. All the best.